back with more Buffy. This is episode 9 of season 7. Getting close to the halfway mark of the final season already, which seems like complete madness, but it is what it is. So we are getting through it, and things are really escalating. Like the last episode is really good. More stuff with Spike and him being messed around by whatever this mysterious kind of presence is. I think he's kind of being triggered by a song to like attack, and now he's been killing and siring people for some reason. Why they'd want him to do that, I don't know, but it's clearly tying into like this larger thing. Giles got attacked at the end. I'm sure he's fine, but I don't know if they're going to address that immediately, because obviously everyone in Sunnydale has no idea that that's happened, so I don't know how they're going to kind of work with that and address that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this season so far. I think we've got off to like a really good start, and I'm very intrigued by this whole weird, evil, ghosty, presency thing, and exactly what its whole deal is. From beneath you it devours. So hopefully we continue kind of exploring that, because Spike may hold some answers there regarding exactly what this thing could be, so he's going to come back into play. So interesting stuff with that. Very excited for more. And yeah, let's just dive right into the next one.
Shouldn't we stab him through the chest? Isn't that what we do when these things happen? Look, Buffy knows what she's
doing. We did it with you, Anya.
Xander, you know what we're all talking about.
Right. Been good.
Oh, Jesus.
It didn't hurt too much. I'm not very good at stabbing.
You know, it wasn't that bad.
Good.
It was like a short pain.
I get free, someone's gonna die.
Oh.
Yeah, we got that stomach flu going around.
Her exact words were, "I've got stuff coming out of both ends."
Thank you.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Sure.
Watchers Council does not keep track of our lapsed.
Ugh, this fucker. Jesus.
Since Mr. Giles pulled up his stake in Sunnydale, we've not made it our business to follow his every move.
Oh, they know he's missing.
Mr. Travers. I think we need to get him some blood. Do you want me to kill Anya? No.
No, thank you.
I should probably.
I better go for a throat first.
Babe 2 Pig in the City was really underrated.
Think about Babe.
Right.
Oh, don't kill the pig.
You're the destroyer.
Yay! Pig in the city.
It's the most attempted pig slaughtering I've ever seen.
Isn't there some other way we could get blood?
Number 87.
Oh,
Halibut and
just for the hell of it.
paste.
Flay him. No, don't flay him. Oh shit. Oh shit. Went well last time those two saw each other.
Warren killed Tara. I didn't do it. And he was aiming for Buffy anyway.
Well, that's alright then.
Making it better. I am not to be trifled
But
with.
I'm
talking. Don't interrupt. Get mad.
Oh, she's so adorable.
I am death. If you dare defy me, I will call down my fury, exact fresh vengeance, and make your worst fears come true. Okay?
Okay. I thank her for it.
You think this is a game, Junior? People are dying. My friends' lives are in danger.
Hey, Anya.
I ain't gonna waste my time with deceptions. Not on my watch.
Oh shit.
Can I talk to you outside for a second?
She's been watching too much TV. I mean, I'm one to talk, but you know.
So what do we do now?
Well, now we let him stew his own juices for a bit, then we give him the hard brace.
I like they did good cop, bad
What's the
cop.
dance with your guy? The weasel wants to sing. He just needs a tune.
He's primed. I'll be pumping him in no time. He'll give us information soon.
It's nice to see those two kind of working together again without screaming at each other.
Things have been wonky for me ever since I go back, ever since...
You got your soul.
I'm a soul man.
So long since I had one.
How did you do it? How'd you get your soul back?
A subplot across several episodes.
Yeah, I redefine the words pain and suffering since I fell in love with you.
How can you say that?
You used me.
Yes.
You told me that, of course. Never understood it, though.
Yeah, didn't digest it with your soul.
You hated yourself. I understand you now. I understand the violence inside.
Violence.
That's what was missing with them last season. They didn't understand her.
Insight into violence.
Have they got a framed question mark?
This one time I saw her having sex with Spike.
She's killed more men than smallpox. And the girls, they're all looking for someone to blame.
Didn't do anything.
You lying son of a bitch! You're gonna tell us right now.
Stop it!
Get off me, Harris! Excuse me.
This is madness. Uh-oh. I like that fake Spike has the jacket, though.
Everything okay? Fine.
Oh, dear.
Well, we needed more blood to
Ooh.
activate the seal of damage.
Oh, shit! Oh, fuck! Oh, that escalated quickly. On the plus side, Xander's got another project. He's definitely not more, like, animalistic as a vampire, like roaring and shit.
And then he started singing. Maybe it's another musical.
It's a trigger. It's a brainwashing term. It's how the military makes sleeper agents. They brainwash.
There's that military knowledge again.
With a specific.
I want to know what did this to him. Spirits, ghosts, demons, check the lot of them.
And why did he go after Andrew?
Haunt or possibly control like this. I need to know
Because
exactly what we're dealing with.
they don't want Andrew to give them information on whatever they did killing Jonathan. Does he have a sixth sense or some shit? Hey.
Good bite out of Andrew. Tucker's brother.
They can't help themselves, can they? This needs to be a drinking game when I rewatch the show.
Xander has this theory that you're being triggered.
I've got a theory. You're being triggered.
What?
Buffy, you have to kill me.
You don't understand.
You've never met the real me.
Believe me, I'm well aware of what you're capable of.
No. You got off easy, too.
Oh, fuck.
You want to know what I've done to girls Dawn's age?
Oh, fuck.
This is me, Buffy.
He really is doing the self-loathing
You're gonna
thing,
kill
isn't he?
me before I get out.
Wants to be dead.
We can keep you locked up. Keep you here and we'll figure out.
You thought that before.
Well, you can't do it.
You need the pain we cause you. You need the hate. You need it to do your job, to be the Slayer.
No. I don't hate like that. Not you.
It's like Batman and the Joker.
Not myself. Be easier, wouldn't it? If it were an act. But it's not.
Yeah.
You faced the monster inside of you and you fought back.
He needs to go through what Angel
You
went through.
risked everything to be a better man. You may not see it, but I do. I do.
Damn. That's really big of her to actually say that to him. Oh! Well. Oh, these guys. Shit. Oh, it's all coming together. Yes. This guy's shady, isn't he? He doesn't seem phased at all. He's like, oh, there's a body here, I guess. Another day at the office. Is he a demon? How dare you? Oh, good dawn. Oh, nice. Meanwhile, human shield. anything is a weapon when you're the Slayer. Nice.
I know these guys. I've fought them before. I know what we're up against. First.
Haha! I was thinking, when they had their hoods down, they looked familiar, like with the eyes.
Took our files, you wiped out our records.
Nice.
First Evil has declared all-out war on this institution.
Mm.
We'll be paying a visit to the Hellmouth.
Oh.
My friends, or by wise counsel, you shall make your war.
Oh. Was that their building? I mean, there's too many knives, isn't there? Ooh!
Now, Spike, you want to see what a real vampire looks like?
Oh, damn. Is this what they tried to do with Jonathan? Because that's literally the thing from Scooby-Doo. That's a reference, surely. Ooh! Okay. That's me waking up from a nap. Okay, well, really, really great episode. I've really enjoyed this one a lot. Where do we start? There's a few different kind of things to unpack, and I feel like we're getting some answers. We've got a pretty significant answer about exactly what's doing all this, but there's still more questions being added, but it doesn't feel like too much, which is cool. So I am assuming the Watchers all got blown up there. They all got... boom. I mean, the CGI on that wasn't brilliant, but that's not ideal. So I'm assuming the first arranged that somehow. Still don't know anything about Giles. Wood? Principal Wood? Seems a bit dodgy. I don't know. I feel like maybe he knows more about shit than he's letting on. Maybe there's a reason he wanted to take over Sunnydale High and be the new principal. I don't know. You just trust no bitch. You just can't trust anyone. So I feel like there's obviously a lot more to him, because he reacted very well to seeing Jonathan's body there, and he didn't call the police or anything. I know the police are pretty much useless in Sunnydale based on what we saw them, how they tried to deal with Willow last season, but you know, it's still a normal thing to do, and he's like, you know what, I'm just going to bury this body somewhere. So there's definitely more to him that I'm very intrigued by, so I'm excited about what that could mean. Is he tied to all this in some other way? Has he been a manifestation of the first all this time? That would be a twist. So yeah, there's more to the story with him than I originally imagined, which is cool. So actually, I like the actor a lot. I've seen him in some other things. I've seen him in Suits and stuff like that. I think he's in Lucifer as well, I think. Maybe that's someone else I'm thinking of. But he's in a big show, I think, on Netflix right now. So yeah, there's that. I don't quite know where they're going with it, but I am intrigued. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit, and what they're going to do with him. So exactly what that's going to mean and how that ties into things, I have no idea, but cool. And yeah, I liked Wood as a character up till now, even if he's not necessarily the person he's been presented as being. I do like the actor, so if he gets more to do, that'd be interesting. So I am on board with this twist, if there is really more to the story, but I'm pretty sure there is, otherwise he probably would have just passed out at the sight of a dead body in his school. But there you go. So yeah, excited for that. And the council, we saw Quentin again, and I recognise quite a few of those people from Checkpoint. So they're revisiting that. They were aware that Giles was like missing, and even Buffy seemingly knew that you know, Giles was missing as well, because he wasn't getting in touch. So there's a big operation there, and the first have actually declared war on the Watchers Council. So that's what they're going after. So it makes sense why they'd go after you know, Giles and the other guy who's in that apartment at the start of the last episode. I'm assuming maybe those people in those scenes at the start of the season, the first couple of episodes, we saw these random people being killed. are they Watchers as well? Maybe they're part of different Watchers councils, so maybe that's how that ties in. I'm sure they'll elaborate more on it. So yeah, I'm intrigued by exactly why they're targeting them and why they got like bored of the established order, whatever it was they were saying in episode 7. I'm sure we'll learn a bit more about that motivation and what their kind of big scheme is. It apparently involves this weird vampire-y thing that they summoned at the end, and they tried and failed to do with Jonathan, it would seem. That's why they killed him, to try and bring that thing about, I'm guessing. But it didn't work. I guess they needed a vampire, like a vampire blood to do it, or vampire with a soul blood to do it, I'm not sure. But it worked, so there's going to be a new thing for them to beat up. I don't know if that's going to be like a big threat for like loads of like the rest of the season or a lot of the season to come, if it's a multiple arc thing, if they kill it in the next episode. I can't imagine it living out the rest of the show, that's for sure, so we'll see what happens with that. But it's a cool little design, so I'm intrigued, because they did say it was a vampire, so I'm guessing it's like ultra vampire, like, I don't know, thick boy vampire. So yeah, I'm excited about the prospect of that, and could mean an awesome badass battle. It reminded me a bit of, I can't remember what it was called in season 2. It was in like the Surprise and Innocence 2-part. I think it was like the Destroyer or something like that. I think they even mentioned the Destroyer in this one, or they just said the Destroyer. Something about that reminded me of that, even though I think that thing was like blue back then, but who even knows. It's been a long time since I've watched those episodes, so I have no idea. But yeah, there was that whole thing with the council. So a lot of those characters are just wiped out and gone, just as it seems like they were actually going to do something and be a bit useful. So that's nice, well done. But yeah, they're dead. I didn't particularly like the Watchers Council anyway, so I'm not going to be too sad. I'm not like losing sleep over the Watchers Council getting blown up, but it's escalating the threat, I guess, and leaving Buffy with fewer and fewer allies as they try and fight this thing. And now she knows what it is, and it is the first. So that was my initial instinct after episode 1, so that was cool. Because I had that, or like the powers that be or something, so I wasn't like, oh, it's definitely that. I wasn't like that confident in it. But it's the first evil from season 3, which is kind of insane. I was looking it up, because I did not remember those like hooded people, but when they took the hoods down and I saw the ice and stuff, I was like, that's kind of familiar to me. And I guess they were in Amends in season 3, but I was looking it up, and I think I obviously recorded it probably a day or two before I posted the reaction, but I posted the reaction near the end of January 2019. So it's been nearly 2 years since I watched the episode, so I'm not going to get a bit annoyed at myself for forgetting that, because I've watched a lot of episodes of a lot of shows since then. So for some reason, I guess those hooded guys just slipped my mind. But there's been a lot of like Glory had hooded minions in season 5. I kind of attribute that kind of look to those guys, I guess. I don't know. But there's a lot to remember. So I like that Buffy remembered that, and that's how she realised what this was the first. Because I thought it was a bit weird at first. When they like made Spike go after Andrew and stuff. I was like, oh, they're going to silence him so he doesn't tell them about that Jonathan Seal thing that could like give them information. But then they were just so willingly attacked them with all the minions and stuff anyway. So it's like, well, if you were going to kill Andrew to prevent information, why are you just attacking them and revealing yourselves now? But I think they didn't really care at this point. They just wanted Andrew because they were going to sacrifice him, not to silence him. I mean, they were going to silence him because they were going to sacrifice him, but not so we could like spill the beans, I guess. But they actually wanted Spike in the end, so it all worked out. And I'm intrigued by that. I'm going to have to rewatch Amends now, I think, so I can get like a better idea, or at least rewatch my reaction to it, which I don't enjoy doing because I don't like watching myself back. But just to kind of refamiliarise myself with the first, and all I really remembered of them was they claimed to be like, well, the first evil to like ever exist or whatever, and like older than the universe itself or something like that. And obviously they were trying to get Angel to kill himself, and they can morph into different people. That was the main thing I remembered of them. Because they had Jenny and all that, didn't they? And all these people that Angel had killed over the years. So yeah, I'm intrigued that we actually got some answers. That's who we're dealing with here, and Buffy's fought them before, which is cool. I like the idea of they had this like bad guy set up, like seemingly just one episode way back when, and then they bring them back years later as the big bad. That's kind of cool, you know. The show was so different when we first saw the first. It was on a different whole bloody network. So the fact that they brought them back is kind of intriguing. And I do like the first evil potentially being like the last big bad. I think that's kind of nice. There's just something about that that I think is kind of cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a bit more answers about them and learning a bit more of how they work, because I think they were kept pretty mysterious in Amends from what I remember. So if we get a bit more answers about it, that's pretty awesome. And it's a good excuse to like bring back some past characters or actors anyway, playing like characters as the first. So that's really cool. And the fact that they're like declaring war on the Watchers Council, that institution and stuff, it's a very like personal kind of stake for like Buffy and the Scooby Gang to fight against. So it's making it quite a personal storyline again, which I'm all for. So I'm actually really, really excited about this. So we'll see where they go with it. Another few tidbits. I liked that final scene Quentin was talking about we can still be captains of our own souls or something like that. And then we have everything going on with Spike right now, and he's kind of messed up having regained his soul, and maybe Buffy thinks, oh no, you can get through this, you can be a better man, I've seen you change, you can kind of get on top of this. And if he does, he kind of would be like the captain of his own soul in that sense. So kind of like that line could represent where Spike's journey could go. I just thought that was a neat little thing. They probably didn't even intend to mean it like that, but I thought it was interesting that he mentioned that, given what Spike's going through at the minute, and they had a lot of discussion about that between Spike and Buffy in this episode, so that's cool. And I did think it was really nice of Buffy to say all those things to Spike after everything that happened with them. It was good to have them have that conversation, and Spike being like, he now understands Buffy a lot better now he has the soul. He understands her motivations a lot better, and he was like, you used me when we were together, and she did. But there's faults on both sides of that relationship. So I like them really addressing that, and that kind of can allow them, and in a way me, to hopefully move forward. So that was really good. I liked that scene a lot. And Xander kind of being one to work out that it was kind of a trigger that was doing this to Spike. That was pretty clever. Dawn, as a fighter, damn, she has been training hard, and I like that they continued that on from the end of season 6. Like, she had some pretty cool fighting skills that, I love you, Willow, but you went down like a sack of shit, like, straight away. And Dawn kind of held her own for a long time. So I thought that was pretty badass, and I like seeing Dawn continuing to go through that change and that training and stuff. So that was pretty badass. And Xander and Anya, I liked seeing them have that kind of good cop, bad cop kind of routine going. Just seeing those two kind of seamlessly work together as a team again was actually really nice after all the recent shenanigans with them and their relationship. So that was really cool. Anya was hilarious, trying to like embody this bad cop and beating on Andrew, accidentally hitting Xander, being like, oh, I'm sorry. That was really funny. Anya's just so great with like the comedic stuff like that, and it breaks up the tension in a really nice way. So that really worked well for me. I loved those two in this episode, as I do tend to, let's be honest, but that was another kind of shining example. It was just nice to see those two be on somewhat good terms and actually work as a team again. So yeah, there was that. And Andrew is back into the fold. Him in that stupid bloody like Spike outfit. Like, I have so much more respect for Spike and Angel now because they can pull off that jacket. I don't know if anyone else could. I'm never going to try it, but not my kind of thing in the slightest. I like comfy t-shirts with geeky sayings and symbols on them, which is what Andrew should probably go for. But instead, he's trying to be something he's not, because I think he's very insecure about himself. And he's being manipulated at the minute as well by Ghost Warren. That's actually the first, which makes sense. The first rhymes with the worst, and the worst is Warren. So it makes perfect sense that they would embody his image for a lot. And we got a bit of them embodying Jonathan as well, to continue that manipulation. And I much prefer Andrew on his own than as part of like the trio, like having them around all the time. I'm actually much enjoying what he's bringing to it when it's mainly just him, like when he was being interrogated and stuff. I think the comedy just works a lot better when it's just one character like that as opposed to 3. I think that was just too much for me last season. So yeah, I liked how he kind of worked with all the team and trying not to give away any information and being kind of nonchalant about Xander's story about Anya until it's kind of he tried to like really make it more gross and physical, and then he had the reaction to that. So that was really funny. And yeah, Andrew and Anya was a surprisingly entertaining pairing. So I would happily see more of that. And yeah, I guess he's recovering from a bite wound, which isn't ideal. But I enjoyed Andrew in this episode for the most part. I also love the scene where he was trying to get Bird from the butcher. Willow bumped into him and she was like threatening him and stuff. And I mean, he's probably traumatised from like Warren's death last season, to be fair, but he was also a dick last season, so I don't care if he's traumatised by that. But yeah, he is being manipulated a bit right now, and I get he was manipulated a lot last season as well, but he still made some dirty decisions even after Warren was dead, so yeah. I actually really enjoyed Andrew in this episode. What world is this? 2020 can't get any more surprising, you would think, and then this happens. So I actually enjoyed his scenes in this episode and his interactions with everyone. And yeah, overall, just a really, really great episode. We're continuing on a very solid streak, I think, with this season. I'm very intrigued by Principal Wood, and there seems to be more than meets the eye to him. Dawn was badass. I love the scene with Willow and Andrew, and a lot of the Andrew stuff I really liked. The Spike and Buffy conversation, them addressing things and working out that it was the First who's behind all of this, which is cool. Seeing the Watchers Council again, seeing the Watchers Council get blown up. Whoopsie, rest in peace. Again, just escalating the threat of the First, I guess, as we delve further into the season. Spike still kind of having his own kind of self-loathing thing going on now, desperately trying to get Buffy to kill him, but she's seeing the good in him that he can't quite see yet, because he's still very much dealing with the aftermath of getting his soul back and everything. And it's interesting, you know, the whole thing with Angel in season 3, when the First were trying to kill him, and now they're using another vampire with a soul to try and kill other people, which is kind of an interesting reverse. But with that episode in season 3, Angel kind of realised that he could keep on living because he got the sign with the snow and shit, that everything was going to be okay. So the fact that they now brought the First back into the show, just as Spike's kind of dealing with that, I think is quite interesting. And probably not an accident as well. So maybe Spike will go down a similar journey in that sense to Angel. We had the advantage, I guess, of Angel having already gone on that journey for like 100 years or whatever, prior to Buffy starting, and then he became Angelus again, then he became Angel again, then he was dead in hell for 100 years or whatever, came back, and then he had to deal with it again briefly, but he had gone through that before. Spike's dealing with having his soul back for the very first time. So it might be a bit more of a difficult journey, but he has a lot longer of the season left than Angel just had in that one episode. So I'm intrigued to see if that's where Spike's journey is going, in a similar way to Angel. I would not be against it, I would have to say. Because I do feel like Spike gets given more focus on Buffy than Angel did when he was on Buffy, and what they've managed to do with Angel now in his own show, now that he gets that focus, is quite extraordinary. So if they can do similar stuff with Spike when he already gets that amount of screen time and focus, I think we're in for a pretty decent story if they do a similar kind of thing that they've done with Angel. So we'll have to see. It's a very interesting, dodgy kind of thing. I don't think they've necessarily like defined like the actions of having a soul versus not having a soul. Are you the same person or you're not? I feel like there's a lot of conflicting opinions about that, even in the show itself. And I feel like if it was better defined in the show, we had a better definition of exactly how the soul works and stuff, because I feel like it contradicts itself a lot, then I think it would be a lot easier to judge like Angel and Spike and stuff like that, and compare, contrast them however you wish. I feel like it's a very difficult thing to do just because we don't necessarily know everything about how the soul works, and it's not very well defined or contradicted and stuff like that. But they have another, half a season still to explore that if they go into. So interesting stuff, and I really, really enjoyed this episode a lot. Very happy about the First and the potential that they have as a big bad, which I assume they are. Or maybe this thing they summon is the real big bad of the season. Maybe life is the big bad yet again. Who knows? But that's exciting, and Giles is probably still knocked out in a ditch somewhere, which isn't ideal. So let's get Giles back, please. #justice for Giles. But yeah, really great episode. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen next. And my next reaction will be to episode 10 of Buffy. So we'll be finding out very, very soon. And until next reaction, thanks for watching.